Welcome to the From the 108 podcast, starring the drunk uncles of White Sox Twitter. He's a Twitter like whore, an Instagram thirst trap, and your grandma's guilty pleasure, BeefLoaf. A West Coast attitude in a decidedly Midwest body, MySoxSummer. And your host, he's sharing obscure music thoughts to give you time to hit the bathroom, Chorizy-E.
Thank you, Cornsey. Welcome to the From the 108 podcast. Get ready for some baseball, beer, and bullshit. Remember the drinking rules. If BeefLoaf says allegedly, or that he manifested that, you drink. If MySoxSummer talks about the gym or tells us he simply did not have time, you drink. And if I talk music or Star Wars, you drink. And of course, you can make all of us drink for $1.08 or more, preferably more. But speaking of drinking, fellas, what are you drinking? And are you on the quest? I'm going to start with BeefLoaf. BeefLoaf, what are you drinking tonight?
Baby. I am questless today. And I told Chorizy before the podcast I was going to be questless only because we're narrowing down to the final few. And so I got to get myself mentally prepared for these last ones. We've saved the worst for last. And so I want to make sure that I'm ready when it's time to do it. So tonight I'm just having a little añejo. I'm going back to the tequila. Time to do a little tequila. Legitimately, I got out of the hot tub like 4 minutes before I popped down here, Trees. I was about to get my swim trunks on here, but the only problem is when you're in the hot tub, you guys know this. Your ball bag gets so huge from all the heat. Like I had to put some chonies on. You can't mess around. I can't have my exercise ball chair rolling over my ball bag.
Yeah. I mean,
not good, you know. Your ball
that
bag.
seems like it getting caught on a tire or something, and you're just like rolling.
Just keep going. I'll never get it back. So, but the tequila smells and tastes
God
delicious.
forbid.
All right.
God forbid you lose your balls.
Should have put a little orange juice in that, and then we could have knocked another one off. But you know, that's all right. That's all right. MySoxSummer. What are you drinking?
Is that what a tequila sunrise is? Is orange juice and tequila?
I think there's grenadine in it too. But yeah.
Okay. I got to find some grenadine there because I might drink that. Am I questing tonight? That's a stupid question. Of course I am. I've got the Boone's Farm, baby. It's bright electric blue. I got the famous blue Hawaiian. It was between this and strawberry. What was it? Strawberry
Hill.
Strawberry Hill.
Oh,
yeah,
it's huge.
Strawberry Hill.
Huge.
So let me twist this off here.
Get in there.
Corkscrew needed. As you guys might remember, I drank an entire bottle of Mad Dog 2020 last week. I would not advise that you do that. It is not good. I was hungover as fuck the next day. So cheers. Here's the blue Hawaiian. I don't know if I've ever had this. Let's see.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
The nose. What are the notes on that one?
The nose is copper tone. Okay. We have like copper tone.
Sounds promising.
Literally, it tastes like drinking suntan lotion. Like I got some suntan lotion in my mouth, and it's not offensive because it's just covered in sugar. So, yeah, we got Boone's Farm down. I'm helping with the wines now, so that's what I do. But
same here, buddy.
Yeah,
same here.
What are you doing? What have you got tonight, Chorizy?
I got this tiny bottle of Barefoot Red Moscato.
Oh, I'm so glad I didn't find that because I was going to buy that.
It's got some. It says gold real big on it, but doesn't really explain what it won a gold for.
No.
It feels good, close to when the Pope came in, because this tastes like church wine with Splenda in it.
Oh, with Splenda.
Yeah,
wow,
it's a wild ride.
It's the number one drink on the list. When I looked at it, I was like, that's a pure hangover right there. That is, you're going to get hungover drinking the Red Moscato. The other thought I had, I'm pretty sure if you go back into White Sox Twitter lore, which we have to do sometimes, before we were anything, there was a chick on White Sox Twitter whose handle was something like White Sox Diaries, and she would overdo it with the Moscato or one of the wines you could buy at the gas station. Maybe it was cupcake. Maybe it was the Moscato. I don't remember, but it was a bad wine that you would get a little little loony with it.
I did not realize until I went to Benny's to track down the red Moscato that there are multiple variants of the Moscato. So there's the regular, there's like a pink, there's a red, and then they've got this whole line of other shit that's called Fruitscato. And Fruitscato is basically Boone's Farm.
Yeah,
okay,
it is.
And like I'm looking at it, and I'm like,
off.
should I get one of these? But we explicitly put red Moscato. Like someone, I think that was one of the suggestion ones. It was one of the suggestion ones. So like, I was like, I got to get it. This bottle. So this, I'll show it again. This bottle, look next to my head. This is a big ass
right there.
Yeah,
Wine.
Fruscato.
$8.99. You know that's good. You know.
Happy birthday, Praz. Belated. I know you probably don't know this, but you're supposed to tip us for your birthday. So happy birthday.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that, but that is true.
Well, speaking of which, let's get to some of these drinks because we got a few piling up here.
Hell yeah.
I love it. Good start.
Our guy John Nava says, "Cheers, fellas. It's been a while. Glad to be back. We're glad to have you back."
Bless you, my friend. He showed up on the Anjou live stream too. Appreciate you, John.
Surprisingly, really good-looking John Nava. Yep. I like to see you again.
Handsome fella. That's
handsome guy.
Another handsome fella right here, Gordo. He says, "Cheers to the drug addict."
Yes.
Cheers, Gordo.
We were just talking
about
of all the different things that I could do. Yeah, bless your heart, literally. Oh God. Hope everything's good.
All right.
Yeah, I hope you're good, Gordo.
Jackie Treehorn says, "R.I.P. George Wendt." Yeah, we're going
no
to talk about George Wendt later on. We're going to talk about
that's right. We'll get to some George Wendt. Ooh, yum.
Then we got one from, and we got a lot here. We're going tonight.
I love it.
Trey Williams says, "Get so drunk that beef falls off the exercise ball."
See, if my balls were trapped, that would be the plan. Get drunk, and if I fall off, then I got a chance to get my balls free. That's a good. I like where your head's at, Trey. That's a good.
Just
thought.
Roll off and risk the head injury. Yes.
Taco Gladiator says, "I passed a kidney stone last night. Ready for 108ing at the games this weekend. Cheers, you slugs." Wow. That's a quick turnaround.
He's on vacation right now.
Boy, Jer. Hey, Jer, if you could bag it up and bring it to the tailgate on Saturday. I think you should bring it. And when someone can maybe make jewelry out of it too.
I was gonna say, could Vino put it into one of the bracelets?
One of the bracelets, exactly. Yeah, let's do it.
I got the refill already. This is not good.
And then we got Barry Bag of Donuts. He says, "Great time at the watch party at Cork and Carry on Sunday. Thanks for hosting." Cheers, Barry. Yeah, it was a great time.
Bear, awesome to do like 20 fireball shots with you, my friend. I appreciate it.
Jesus Christ, Barry.
Needed every one of them. Needed every one of them. Just like I need this red Moscato. Let's go.
Yeah. Barry was one of the first raffle winners, and he took home the Dick Allen bobblehead with the dart, with the lung dart.
Yeah.
And he was so excited. He was holding that box like it was the Stanley Cup. Like he was just like, yes. And everyone was like, what is this man yelling about? And it's like, because he just scored a really nice bobblehead.
Beef, how you doing tonight, buddy?
Boys, I'm good. I did not get to this news last week, and I think it's something that it's important for the crew.
Let's talk it out. Let's talk it out. What do you got?
Big NBA news. I'm not sure if you guys heard this, but Michael Jordan is back in the NBA, is back on NBC. The story was everywhere, but this is from TMZ. It says, Mike on the mic joins NBC's NBA team. His airness is now on the airwaves. He's going to be part of the coverage team. They announced that was about 2 weeks ago when they announced that.
Yeah.
Peacock has got a pro basketball. They got 11-year, $76 billion broadcasting deal with Disney and Amazon. And so they're adding Jordan to the coverage team. There's no specific plan out there yet for MJ, although the article does end nicely with saying that the network also brought composer John Tesh to do a rendition of the iconic round ball.
Oh, yes.
So that's back in too.
Oh,
my question for you guys is, Jordan's getting added to the broadcast team. Now, here's what we know of Jordan speaking on things throughout his entire life, because we're big Jordan fans. We grew up with this shit. 90s Bulls was our main shit. Most of the people watching, maybe not. Some of you probably. Yeah. But for us, that was like our prime time of watching a lot of sports. MJ was either squeaky clean, perfectly polished PR guy who gave you absolutely nothing, or he was a complete asshat like he was in his Hall of Fame speech, where he even aired out his fucking high school teammate. So my question for you guys is, what do you expect out of Jordan on the fucking broadcast for NBC? Chorizy.
So this is, it's definitely going to be on the side of the asshole. Like he doesn't give a shit anymore. Like, and he's probably going to have a glass of scotch with him, right, and he's going to just be talking shit about everybody. Like, I think it's part of why he's doing this is not so much because he loves the NBA or even that this is for money. This is for him to continue to pound into people's heads how much fucking better he is than all of these other players. That's his goal. That's his goal in this situation. That's all he wants to do. So I can't wait for it. I haven't been watching a lot of NBA.
Yeah.
And so this might actually get me back into it a little bit because I'll want to see MJ just talking shit about everybody and like talking shit about old stories, guys that are currently in the NBA. I mean, it has endless possibilities of dickheadedness, and I can't wait for it.
That's us.
100%. And Chorizy, I can't wait until they're covering the NBA finals and they're like, yeah, it's really hard to recover from a loss in the finals. And Jordan just drops, I wouldn't know. I've never lost when I was in the finals. You know, and just to have him come out and do this. What worries me and concerns me is that the man has more money than he knows what to do with, like for lifetimes, right? So he's not doing this because he needs money. He's doing it because he needs to get something out there, and he's going to get it out there. And he's like, unfortunately, Marcus is too much of a fuck up with the cocaine and the Lamborghinis to like get his message through to all these people. He's got to do it himself. You know, he thought he was putting it out there. He put the word on the street to Pippen by, having his son fuck his ex-wife. And, that got all messed up. So now he's like, I just got to do it myself. I can't trust my kids to do anything. So I have to go out there and just go fuck shit up. I cannot wait. It's going to be the Jordan asshole revenge tour. And I am going to love every second of it.
Now let me ask you this, guys. Do you think, because I thought the first person I thought of when they're bringing him back is I thought of Barkley. Barkley has become such a big star on TV, separate from his playing career. And a lot of the people who are like fans of Barkley now have no idea what a fucking awesome basketball player he was because he's taken on this other personality, this other aura as a TV personality. And Shaq is getting a lot of notoriety and that whole show or whatever. Yeah. I wonder how much it's like from Jordan is a jealousy standpoint where those guys are real famous still, and he's famous, but he's not famous on the level they are, where they're getting adoration constantly for this stuff. Or like Tom Brady, the GOAT goes from playing straight into the broadcast booth, and they give him the number one spot. I wonder how much of it is like the competitiveness with Jordan.
I can get the Brady thing. I think the Chuck and Shaq thing plays into it, but I wonder if there's going to be a level of Jordan kind of almost going like, I'm not here to fuck around like Chuck and Shaq. I'm not here to clown around and entertain you. I'm going to tell you how basketball is played and why these guys can't do it.
Right.
I feel like it's going to be, I'm sure he could be really good like Chuck and Shaq, but I don't think that's his personality.
No, I don't think so.
His personality is let's joke around. His personality is, this guy just beat me in a hand of poker. We're playing the next hand for $200,000.
Yes.
this guy's fucking house is going to be mortgaged if he loses this next hand.
Or when there's some type of like discussion on finals or again with the championships, and then he looks to Chuck and is like, well, how many rings do you got, Chuck? Oh, when did you get those rings? And then
different network stuff, different networks, but different networks. Now here's a concern. Here's a concern I had. I just thought competition wise, MSS, you'd be competing against them effectively because they'll be doing something. I don't think Jordan's going to be the color analyst. That would be my guess. I would guess it would be some sort of studio situation. I don't know. We'll see. They haven't shown it. But here's another concern I had, and it relates to this comment that Prez put up, but also Chorizy. Remember when Joe Montana, they tried to put him in the booth after his career, and he was the most boring, blandest, garbage guy they could possibly put on television, never ever. And Prez says, if Wayne Gretzky on TNT is any indicator of how a GOAT on TV will be, MJ is going to be incredibly boring. I think there's risk of this. I think there's risk of MJ being horrible on TV.
There is risk. But let's break those down real quick though. Yeah. Because Joe Montana has like zero personality.
Correct.
Right. And like not that MJ is like Mr. Personality, but he has a personality.
He does.
maybe not one you love, but he has one. And Gretzky, I mean, let's just be honest here. He's the drunkest motherfucker on the planet. And
Yes.
not like fun, like, hey, we're gonna have a couple red Moscatos and do a podcast.
No.
Drunk like, okay, wake him up. He's got to be on TV in 5 minutes. Like that.
I told you that story, Chorizy. Back in my public accounting days, I worked with, I did a return for a guy who did commercials.
Wayne
He did some of the
Gretzky.
Bud commercials, whatever. And he worked with Gretzky, and he said exactly the same thing. This guy's drunk off his ass all the time, just constantly. So maybe it could be. Maybe it could be. I'm not sure, but I'm curious to see what it looks like. I'm like cautiously optimistic. I won't want to put my eyes on it, but I'm not confident that it's going to be good at all. I think it could just be a fucking train wreck. Because remember, everything Jordan tries, he doesn't always succeed at. Everyone forgets when he was tried in the 3-point contest and he has the lowest score of all time in the 3-point contest. Everyone forgets that. He sucked terribly. He's bad at some stuff.
Yeah,
That's true. Let's go.
MySoxSummer, how you doing tonight?
guys, there's a lot of things I could talk about like tonight in my banter, and I think, you know, I feel a little low-fish that I have these many things. I could talk about the guy who just left his phone in the weight rack at the gym, and I was wondering, what are you doing? Somebody's going to put weights there and smash your phone, but I'm not going to talk about that. I could talk about the Chicago Tribune, how they're running a complete fucking scam on my household, saying we graced you a month subscription, you owe us $50, and I'm like, that's not how shit works. And then they say, okay, yeah, you're right, we're not going to do that, we'll delete this charge. I could talk about the guy who's a Sox fan and telling other Sox fans how they should fan from his nice home in Arizona, but I'm not going to talk about that. I can talk about how insignificant one Cubs podcaster says the White Sox are, but we are significant enough to complain about for 3 straight minutes on his podcast, which is just hilarious to me.
I loved it.
Telling us how much everything sucks, but I'm not going to talk about that. I was definitely going to talk about something else before this happened tonight, but I'm having practice with the T-ball kids. And it is my duty as a coach to get these kids ready to go up to the minor league, which is the next one, right? Or they call it the major.
Absolutely.
I don't think T-ball coaches have been doing this. They have not thrown pitches at their guys. They're like, whoa, you kids must be really good that we're throwing pitches. No, they're not. Okay. I've cornered the market on how to throw a pitch to a kid that swings like he's playing softball or that he's playing golf. Like, I can figure out where his bat's going to go. I'm going to get this kid a little bit of confidence and throw a pitch to him. So tonight we're throwing pitches, and my little guy, I'm not going to name his name, but he knows who he is. And he does not want any of this. He just wants the tee. He does not want to try to hit. And I'm like, dude, you can do it. And he's like, no, I can't do it. Look at me. I'm horrible and blah, blah, blah. He is swinging away, right? And he swings and it just nips it. I go, you just hit the ball. And he looks at me and he's not even, he's trying not to laugh. He's trying to be Mr. Blah, I can't do this. And he starts to giggle. And then I fucking throw another one. He swings through and hits it right back up to me. I go, you just hit it. And then he couldn't stop laughing. He started laughing again. And I'm like, you see, and I walk up to the front to go pick up a bunch of balls, and I'm not being mean. I have my finger in his chest. I go, you see what you did? I go, you're trying not to laugh right now, but you just succeeded on what you said you couldn't do. So you can do it. So stop telling me you can't do it and just sit out there and do what you're supposed to do. And then he starts laughing his ass off. And I was like, exactly. And I was like, I have gotten through to the kid that gave 2 gigantic shits when he came in. And he did not give 2 shits about any of this stuff. And he says, I can't do it. He got him to do it. So that's what I'm going to focus on today. Not about the time when a guy was blaring his horn at me because I couldn't turn into the left lane because there's a truck backing up and is looking at me like I'm some asshole. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about how I have to police the playground as the only adult that is on the playground. Everyone else is in their cars watching these kids fucking have Lord of the Flies moments. And I'm out there like, I feel like as the only adult, I need to tell you to stop doing that. And we're not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about how happy that kid was tonight because he succeeded. And I take a little bit of credit, but not very much. He fucking came and he did a good job. So good job, buddy. Chorizy, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, my Saint Summer.
Yes.
I have a question for you guys. I want to know if I'm being insensitive here, because this is a very, very recent occurrence. Jim Irsay passed away.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I always had a soft spot for Jim Irsay. Like, he's just kind of a crazy guy. He has this like insane guitar collection. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this. Like he owns like the guitar Kurt Cobain played in the "Smells Like Teen Spirit" video.
Yes.
Like and he paid like $4.4 million for it or something. He owns like Ringo Starr's Beatles drums and shit. Like just wild like music collection. But I thought about this. We talked about this recently. We haven't done this in a long time. And then the goddamn MLB decided, hey, we're going to, exactly, the Sarah Palin's feet thing. The MLB went out there and they're like, hey, we're going to reinstate these guys. 108 Hall of Fame. Do we got to do an emergency induction?
I think we do.
Jim Irsay. Jim Irsay had some of the wildest inebriated moments. And in fact, when I was reading about the guitar collection that he has, there was a part in the article where let me see if I could pull this up real quick so I quote it properly, because he's talking about bidding on this on something, and he says that he was I had drunk enough liquor to float a battleship when he like
that's good.
And then he bid like $2.2 million on the drums. Beat Paul Allen, the guy from Microsoft, not the guy from American Psycho. Beat Paul Allen in the auction.
Noteworthy though.
And then after the auction, went up to Paul and said, "Man, thank you for not bidding in that auction." And he's like, "I was bidding. You outbid me."
I think automatic.
He's got to be in, right? He's got to be in.
In fact, when I saw it, I quote tweeted it. And I put RIP #108 King, because I would consider him a chief 108er out there doing 108 things kind of all the time. I saw Chili's fan 972 James Fox quote tweeted a Greg Doyle article about Irsay, and it talked a lot about kind of Irsay's demons, but also he was so charitable in the local community and put a lot of money out there and helped a lot of people out. And apparently there's a lot of stories about him, like, do not put this in the paper. A lot of the stuff, he wanted all that shit kind of off the record and everything. And so, like, he was a kind guy, but he understood the demons that he was facing. And like, he even talked about Chuck Pagano, who was a former head coach for the Colts. Chuck Pagano got cancer, and he said, Chuck's a survivor. He's, at the time, he goes, he's going to get better from this. He goes, me with my disease, I'm never going to get better. I'm just going to die from it for someday. And obviously, it was prophetic that is the case. So. Sad to see, and like the internet community for the most part took it the right way. It was just sort of like, this is kind of sad and tragic, and like, hey, the guy had fun while he's here.
Here's some of his craziest moments, but like everybody seemed to appreciate him. From Praz, take a drink with this one. He says the Colts AFC finalist banner will live forever. If you're not familiar, that is, I believe that's still owned by PFT Commenter, right? Like it's like,
I think so. Yeah. Cheers, man.
Cheers.
I was kind of kidding. You were supposed to tip us on your birthday. That wasn't. You shouldn't supposed to take that seriously. But it was only $2, so it's like,
I love it. I appreciate it. But I also appreciate my son.
Oh God, you do?
Some bills.
Why do you appreciate me though so much? Because of.
That is done. The fasting's through. But Lawrence is fun. That's always in view. You prayed, you waited, you gave up the meat. Now treat your soul to that crispy heat. Down on Canal, the fryer don't sleep. 24/7, them flavors run deep. Midnight, sunrise, rain or shine, they're dropping shrimp in that holy brine. But let's talk shrimp, the best in the shy. No one does it better, and that's not a lie. Crispy, juicy, seasoned just right. A bag of joy in the pale street light. So whether you're holy, hungry, or both, Lawrence's swears a deep-fried oath. Come hungry, come often, bring the whole block. Cause let Lawrence's baby, we don't stop.
I love that one. I love that one, but I think maybe we might need a new one because you weren't dancing to it this time.
I wasn't.
Like,
I was
Giving up on
thinking,
that.
here's what I had to look, Chorizy. I was like, God, I feel like we've listened to this like a lot, and we have because there's 5 Thursdays in May. And I started May, whatever the first Thursday was. And so we still have one. I'm like, this is probably the last time I heard this song. So I'm going to say it. And then I'm like, nope, there's still one more week left. So like, yeah, next week is the last week you'll get to hear my rap. So get ready. I'll add something probably even more better.
Guys, you know what time it's for
What time is it?
Smash or pass. 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 Smash or pass.
Man.
All right.
Yes.
I'm in charge of Smash or Pass this week. And, I wanted to do something a little bit different. We got the Rangers coming to town, so I wanted to do things invented in Texas.
Ooh,
Nice.
This is a very risky proposition. This could very well flop. Some of these things are not that exciting, but we're going to try and get through these, and I'm going to try and see what you guys think of some of these things, because some of these I feel like the younger audience don't even know what the hell they are.
Ooh.
All right.
Such as liquid paper. Liquid paper invented in BeefLoaf. Are you smashing or passing the liquid paper?
It's funny that liquid paper, because when we were youngins, it was called whiteout. We called it whiteout back in the day.
Yep.
I'm gonna smash, because there was no other way to get rid of you wrote a bunch of stuff and you realize you misspelled one thing. We didn't have erasable pens or anything like that. Either you had to write in pencil or you needed goddamn liquid paper, the whiteout, to pull that over. And what I liked about it is you had to let it dry too, so you can write over it when it was, and it was a different surface. Or type over it. Exactly. It was a goddamn different surface, man. It felt like you were really getting in there and doing something, getting in there. It was like, you're like a tradesman getting in there with your hands with the whiteout. Nowadays, everything's on the computer, sterile as fuck. So I will smash the shit out of some liquid paper, but I'm going to call it whiteout.
That's good. It's good.
I feel like the difference between liquid paper and whiteout loaf was that you could get high on whiteout, and with liquid paper, you could not get high. I think there was two different. That was
took the good shit out. They took the good shit out.
I'm not an illicit drug user like yourself. I'm not an addict, so I have no idea how that works. But I trust you. I trust your expertise on this. Right?
I'm gonna go with because I just want to keep it interesting. I'm just gonna say pass. It feels like it'd be invented somewhere, like in Connecticut, like somewhere where there's business offices and stuff, not just a bunch of ranches with cowboys drinking Lone Star beer. So yeah, I'm gonna go pass.
There are major cities in Texas. It was invented by a secretary.
Not then, though. Not then. I don't think.
So I mean, a cool invention though. When you think back,
very cool invention.
Let's get on to the next one though, because I think
it was invented in Texas.
Yeah, it was invented in Texas.
Oh, so we're just smashing or passing the actual thing. Oh, I'm smashing it then. Yeah. I thought it was.
There's no question if any of these
there was a question.
All of these were invented in Texas.
Okay, now I'm understanding it. All right. Okay. All right.
I just want to know if you like it or not.
It's just smash or pass.
Yeah.
Do you like the invention?
Smoke weed every day.
Yeah, my bad. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay.
Shut up, bitch.
Yeah. Now there we go. Let's go.
I'm gonna bring you something from Waco next. But don't worry. It's just Dr. Pepper. It's just Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper, MySoxSummer. Are you smashing or passing Dr. Pepper?
I'm smashing the shit out of that. I like a Dr. Pepper every so often. All right. And as a kid that grew up with Mr. Pibb, Dr. Pepper is far superior than Mr. Pibb. So Dr. Pepper, I'm smashing the fuck out of you.
I don't like that you just by title say that Mr. Pibb can't hang with Dr. Pepper. All right.
No.
Just a little extra schooling. Fuck that.
Yeah, I was gonna say he didn't go to med school, so fuck him.
I think I've watched a documentary on Dr. Pepper because it was a weird regional thing too. Dr. Peppers in different states were different. Like there was different flavors of it. Like they had different ways that they did it. So they would license the recipe to other places, and then they would kind of make their own adjustments. And then he got pissed. Yeah, then he got pissed because they would be like, "Man, your Dr. Pepper up in such and such sucks."
Hey, you can't mess with blue
But
magic.
yeah, but no, I'm smashing it. Goes really good with rum. So I think a Huck from Kansas told me to try that, and I tried it, and it was delicious.
So I really have this one in here because Beef, I know you like Dr. Pepper, but I want to see where you're at with Josh Nelson right now. I want to see where the relationship stands. Are you smashing or passing on the Dr. Pepper?
My relationship with Josh Nelson is fine. Here's what it is with me and Josh. I'm just willing to tell him the truth. I'm not, he and I, we tell each other the truth. There's nothing wrong with that. And sometimes we bicker. That's okay. I fucking love Dr. Pepper, so it's easy smash. Now, Chorizy, though, what I want to look at here is the picture you put up here, because I see a young and virile Michael Jackson as the spokesperson of the Dr. Pepper. However, the afro,
He's a Pepsi
which
guy.
is gorgeous, it's a little touched up in my opinion, right? Mike's fro was not that tight, was it? Was
no,
tight of a fro there? I don't think
you
so.
could tell. You could tell they did something around the edges there.
He has his aura. I know he got an aura like Prince, but I mean, I think they touched it up a little bit, like a Playboy shoot when they touch the titties up or whatever. They touched up his fro a little bit.
We'll get to that.
Airbrush
A little bit. We'll get to that in a little bit.
Sounds good.
Get a couple
shit out of Dr. Pepper.
Get a couple drinks here. We got one from Sean Jankowski. He says, since Micah is a Rangers fan and we are a divided household this weekend, we need to bet. Any ideas? I do have an idea for you. Jake Berger versus Tim Elko home runs. I think that would be a fun bet. Or you could do it the opposite in strikeouts. That's
That works too.
Cheers, Sean.
Sean, bless you.
Cheers. I don't know if like total wins is that fun of a bet. I think you have to find something like that, Chorizy.
No, yeah, you got to go to the players. You got to go to the players.
I like
make
that.
it make it interesting, because even if you don't want it to be over too soon,
you don't want
it to be over.
So don't put Andrew Vaughn in your bets, okay?
Just don't do that.
Don't take him.
We got a drink from Missy Carroll. She says, catching live for the first time in ages. Bless.
Oh,
bless.
Cheers, Melissa. Thank you.
Cheers, Missy. You should be saving that money to buy a Mazda, though.
I can't believe that she
$1.99 for the Mazda.
That she slayed a deer and sold it to RFK Jr. What a wild day for her. Here's one where I'm interested to see, because this is something I love. I want to know if you guys like it too. Fritos. BeefLoaf. Are you smashing or passing on the Fritos?
Man, you know what? I hate to do this, Chorizy. I hate to do it. I'm going to pass. Fritos have grown out of favor with the loaf over the years.
Man.
I used to like Fritos more. And as I became an adult, I just don't care for them as much. Even so much as like when Mrs. Beef will make chili, she'll buy Fritos to put, in the chili or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Not me, man. I want the tortilla chips. I pass on no Frito in my fucking chili, even that. I'll have it if I'm drunk off my ass and starving at night and I just need handfuls of some garbage to put in my mouth. But I'm not searching out the Fritos. I'm going to pass. I hate to say it. I'm going to pass at this point.
I got some garbage to put in your mouth, buddy.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked by this one.
Revelation.
Yeah. It makes me happy though. It makes me happy though, because the only time that I ever really eat chips like this is when I'm with the beef and we're like out of town at like the lake house or something. We get the big
with the mini bags,
variety bags. Now I know the Fritos are all mine.
You're a free roll, so you should eat the other stuff first, and then
have the other bullshit. You can have the other bullshit. I'm gonna knock out all the Fritos. MySoxSummer, you smashing or passing on the Fritos?
Listen, the Frito has so many different angles, right? Like you can use it as a dipper, you can use it as a topper, you can put it on the chili, you can also put it on a salad, like a corn chip on a salad. Like they're perfectly sized. You don't even have to smash it.
Now I know why you got the diabetes. You're fucking pouring Fritos on your salad.
That is fucking Frito salad over here. Now you're making me disappointed that I was in on this.
The Fritos too small to dip. How are you dipping? I want to hear about how you're dipping.
Well, they also have Big Dipper Fritos. It's just a larger version of the Frito.
Okay, all right, fine. Offshoot Fritos.
They are fucking delicious. And
they better not be called Fritos or anything weird like that, where they're not actually Fritos. They're the fucking bootleg ones you get at Costco or whatever. They better not be that shit.
BWFs.
Loaf.
Shut up, bitch.
All right, let me talk. I think they're like the Big Dipper ones are great too. You dip them in there, but also when you have a walking taco, a Frito is a very, very like high choice on the bag of chips that you can throw in there. Like the Doritos are fine too, but like I would rather go with a Frito. I don't need all that extra Dorito dust. So yes, I'm smashing the shit out of Fritos. I can't imagine. I just can't believe that a man as fat as BeefLoaf does not like Fritos.
I'm gonna backhand Doritos while you're talking about Fritos. You leave Doritos alone; they're in a different class of Fritos. Okay,
I'm just saying.
Fritos is way not even close to Doritos.
Just saying.
Now Timothy Maher brings up a good point here, guys. He says it's the Alestra. Loaf doesn't need any more reasons to be concerned about his O-ring integrity. I mean, I didn't know that, but I just instinctually knew that I should do that. So thank you, Timothy Maher. Yeah, we can't have O-ring leakage, right? There's no need for that shit.
Listen, I'm getting a little bit of shit for the walking taco. Listen, man, I go to a lot of school fucking functions, okay? The walking taco is a thing. People make these things all the time. You have to adjust to where you're at. I'm not like I go to the ballpark and pick up a walking taco like some of you fucking imbeciles. I do it when that's like there's nothing else to eat. Okay,
now,
so take it easy.
MSS, you're a big salad guy. You're big, you're into those kind of health foods. Here's something that was invented in Texas. I couldn't believe this when I saw this because I was like,
crouton.
How does one invent a fruit? But ruby red grapefruits were invented in Texas.
Yep.
So there's some kind of mutant fruit that didn't exist. And they had like some grapefruit trees fuck or something. I don't know what they did.
Yeah. Oh, that's what they do. Yep.
But they came up with these ruby red grapefruits. Are you smashing or passing on disgusting ruby red grapefruits?
Dude. First off, don't say disgusting. Ruby red grapefruit is fucking delicious. Okay.
Yes,
I love grapefruit. Grapefruit is like one of my this is how much I love grapefruit.
That you drink, my lord.
I will get an entire bag of grapefruits and I will not cut them in half like this. I will peel them and eat them like an orange. They are so fucking delicious. I love grapefruits, and grapefruits are like insanely good for you too. Like if you eat a grapefruit a day, it's very good for you. I don't do that, but like some people do. But yeah, there's a lot of health benefits here.
I can't
stop. Don't say RK or anything. Don't
I just feel like MSS is like I just peel this grapefruit. I eat that delicious grapefruit along with a bag of Fritos.
No, it's a topper for anything, so you can put it right on the grapefruit.
I really love grapefruit. So yeah, I'm just a big fan. Always been a big fan. Smashing the shit out of it.
Are you smashing or passing the grapefruit?
I'm gonna pass. And I don't necessarily hate grapefruit. I just don't like. Chorizy, we were talking about this when they had the fruit plate out. We were out somewhere. I don't know. We were in some suite or something like that. And I said, I'm not going to eat the honeydew melon. It's the worst one out of the group. I don't want it.
Like honeydew
I'm going to eat
melon.
everything else first. And grapefruit has a similar feel to me. Like, well, I got nothing against it. I would eat it, but it's like it's last in the pecking order out of the ones that are going to be out there. And so I'm not in on this. Now, you talked about the developing the fruit. And yes, my friend, like fruit over time has been bred to get sweeter and fucking sweeter. And so like, yeah, this is like some Frankenstein fruit right here that they made from some other shit. So yeah, but I'm gonna pass on the grapefruit. I'll leave more for MSS. I'm not gonna insult the grapefruit. I'm just out on the grapefruit.
You've already insulted it comparing it to honeydew melon. Okay, that is just that's horrible.
It's better than honeydew melon. It's better than honeydew melon.
Oh, God.
Now, Beef. Let's say we took that grapefruit and we put it in to a frozen margarita. Because here's Mariano Martinez with the original frozen margarita machine from 1991. So this is the man that invented it in Texas. I guess that's what the internet tells me. Could be total bullshit. It could have been around for 700 years. I don't know, but it looks like it's from this moment. Frozen margarita, Beef. You smashing or passing?
Smashing so fucking hard. I smash margarita in every bit of its forms, but the frozen margarita is especially fun, especially during the summer. You head over to a spot in the neighborhood, no free ads, and they have good frozen margaritas there. And I remember when we were early 20s or whatever, Friday, you get off work at 3:00 or whatever. You'd head over to this spot. You sit outside. This is back when you can get unlimited chips. See, now every Mexican restaurant fucking wants to charge you for that second bowl of chips. No, yeah, we did. Might have ruined it. We might have run it down. We would get like 20 bowls of chips and just pound frozen margaritas as our pregame to go out on a Friday night. No, and frozen margarita come in a lot of different flavors, kind of anything you want. I love it. As far as a frozen drink, my A number one, and obviously tequila is fucking great for the soul. So smash the shit out of frozen margaritas.
Man, I love it. I love it. MSS. I wonder if you can possibly be as excited about frozen margaritas as BeefLoaf.
No, I can't. But I want to give a shout out to this man who looks like you, Chorizy, wearing an urban sombrero. I've never seen somebody wearing one in an actual picture. But like, I'm just excited that somebody like was smart enough to be like, yo, it is hot as fuck down here, and we don't even have real air conditioners. We have like swamp coolers and shit in Texas. Let me make something that will keep somebody cold, but also get them fucking loaded. Like the forethought, you're talking 108 Hall of Fame. This guy probably deserves to be in there too, because I mean, listen, I never lived in Texas, obviously, but I lived in Arizona, and it's hot as fuck there too. And the Fat Tuesdays, when you go in there and they have the 87 frozen, drink machines and margaritas. I mean, this guy, like, this is what he thought of. This is just smart. I'm not a big consumer of them, I'll say that, but I would be. So I'm still gonna smash it. I'm still smashing it.
I like it. I like it. I feel like you guys both smash on that one. I
thought those were shot glasses in his bowl.
I don't want to make assumptions, but I'm feeling the next one you guys might be in favor of too. But so this was invented by a couple doctors down in Texas. Breast implants were invented in Texas. And it's Chloe Jones. She's also from Texas. So we don't get the full shot there, but you could imagine if we did. MySoxSummer, are you smashing or passing?
I have a question though, and this kind of makes a big difference.
Okay.
Was it the saline breast implants or was it the silicone breast implants that were invented in Texas?
It had to be silicone. Silicone was first.
Was it? Because that's what they do now, right? Because it wasn't the original silicone stuff they got rid of, but okay.
I think it's saline now, but wasn't there like silicone like leaking and then like
there was
real bad shit?
I think they changed it. I'm not sure. I'm really. This is a hard one
because I feel like your body could absorb salt water a lot more than it can silicone.
For sure. But I
should be able to take that down easier. I would think. You never know.
Listen, I haven't thought about fake tits in a long time because I've been married. But
yeah, sure, sure, Jan.
Well, I'm just saying.
Alex says feels like a missed opportunity to go with Alexis, Texas. Here, there's no pictures of her from the front though, so it was impossible to find on short notice.
I am thinking about the wrong things, Miss Loaf. That's true. I'm just gonna say sure. Yeah, I'm gonna smash it. Yes, I think they're wonderful. Hold on. I'm gonna go yes.
You're not smashing if you say sure. You're not smashing if you say sure. You're
the weakest smash ever. The weakest.
I don't want to sell it too hard, and then everyone's like, "Oh, look at the pervert guy."
Not the porn guy over here.
Yeah, guy. Of course he likes your big tits. You know what? I'm more of a natural guy myself, but like I do appreciate a good fake tit. But that's why it was kind of like the saline that like they came out with
appreciate a good fake tit. He says, "Print the shirts."
I do appreciate it. I'm not kidding. But yeah.
He gets us.
I'm gonna say smash. I'm still smashing. I'm okay.
I want that in the he gets us. He did appreciate good fake tip.
Jesus would have. I know that for sure.
When I die,
are you smashing or passing?
All right. Here's the thing. This is where it gets tough because, as you guys know, I love titties more than just about anyone you know, and especially big floppy titties would be my favorite. But I'm not the biggest fan of the fake breast assists. I'm kind of more with MSS is saying small natural breast assists all day over fake breast assists for me. So I think I'm going to I don't want to pass in a way because I'm like, well, sometimes they're needed. They're necessary. They're helpful to certain people. But as vanity, Chorizy, I'm going to pass. Because just work with what you got, man. What you got is fine. And a lot of people will love it. Don't worry about it. And so I want to pass on the fake breasts.
I'm very surprised at the reluctance of both of you in this one. I'm proud of both of you. You guys are wonderful gentlemen. This last one might be controversial. on White Sox Twitter. So I just preparing you. Beef, you're going to go
I'm
first.
not into that sort of stuff. I'm not into the controversy. So
I know you're not. But Chili's was invented in Texas. BeefLoaf, are you smashing or passing Chili's?
You know what? The leadership's not there, especially in the new Lennox one. I gotta pass. I gotta protect my guy, James Fox. We're fucking passing on Chili's, goddammit. Poor leadership, we're fucking out of here.
MySoxSummer, you smashing or passing?
Okay, listen. Charlie's. Chili's.
Fuck Charlie's too.
Back in the day, before Chili's, TGI Fridays, and Applebee's had a race to the bottom for how cheaply they could sell their food and also make their food, Chili's was like the top banana between TGI Fridays and Applebee's. Like, you were like, hey, it's Chili's. At least it's not Applebee's. But then I went to Chili's recently with my kids, and it was horrible. It is just not good anymore. The portion sizes, I mean, whatever. They'll give you a ton of starches, but they don't give you the good stuff. I'm gonna pass on Chili's too. I'd rather go to some local joint that has a grill and a bar and get up in there. That's what I'd rather do.
So all right, guys. Appreciate it. I think it was well played.
It was
well
good.
Played. I felt really good.
Chorizy, great job.
Feel really good about it, but that was
Smash
or
pass. 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 Smash
or
pass.
Yeah. Here we go. Tired of driving something that feels like it's stuck in winter? Shift into spring with a brand new Mazda from Mazda of Orland Park. Sleek design, Sky Active performance, tech that gets you and your playlist, and MPG that will make your wallet wanna dance. From the sporty Mazda 3 to the adventure-ready CX-5, we've got the perfect ride for your spring road trip, daily commute, or spontaneous ice cream run, because you can now. Special spring gigs are rolling in now. Trade in, trade up, drive out, grinning. Located just off 159th Street in Orland Park. Stop by today or shop anytime online at MazdaofOrlandPark.com. Mazda of Orland Park, home of the Zoom Zoom Nation. Drive something that actually gets you.
all right. It's time for Chorizy might be drunk or just sick from drinking Red Moscato and White Sox talk.
Man,
And I
it's going to be colorful.
Beef, I know you got some questions for us. I mean, I am going to drink a gallon of water when we're done with this.
I would hope so.
Man, that you sound soft saying that, Chorizy. I'm sorry to say that.
I don't care. I don't
I
care.
got some questions for you guys. My first question, I actually pawned and I requested approval to use this. Is from Sammy Davis Jr. 5K. And the question is for you guys: is Chase Mydroth everything we hoped Nick Madrigal would be, except with a more gigantic head? MySoxSummer, what do you think about early Chase Mydroth versus what we thought Nick Madrigal would be?
Yeah, I would say early returns, absolutely. Like, he was supposed to be a slap hitter, right? And then he was like, get on base, hit people over, do the stuff, steal a base, do all that shit. Yes. Like, he so far, other than the ball off the fucking head, like, he's been
off his huge melon. Yeah.
Pretty fucking good. I have not been embarrassed by him yet. Like, I was almost immediately embarrassed by Nick Madrigal trying to, like, his base running was just atrocious. Like, he was not good at that. And then he got hurt, obviously, right away. But also he had a smug look on his face that he was too good to even be there before he even did anything. Yeah. And so Nick Madrigal, just 2 fucking thumbs down. Chase Mydroth is definitely awesome. And was like what we were told Nicky Mads was supposed to be. So, yes.
Chorizy, what do you think on this topic? Do you think, first off, do you like the way that Chase Mydroth's giant head is peering over the entire stadium? Does it, especially in the back? It's like sunset, and his big head
is the sun.
It's coming through there, man. I love it.
I do like that. And there's
Great eyebrows.
There's something endearing about the way Chase Mydroth looks. I don't know. It's like I'm rooting for the motherfucker, right? We all have had that friend where you're like, man, I want something good for this guy. I just thought he doesn't got a lot going for him in the looks department. I want some good shit to happen to this guy. I wanted to meet someone that can appreciate what a huge crank he has. You know, like that's it. It's kind of one of those. And like I think Chase is like that. But to your question though, I will say no. And I think MSS hit the nail on the head here with his response, because we've all lowered our expectations of what we thought Nick Madrigal could be. But
Right.
what people were originally telling us he was going to be was a fucking mythical beast. And so I looked this up, and this is going to be small on the screen, but like I put together, this is since the wild card era. This is guys with more than 1,500 plate appearances in that time frame that had a 350 OBP or higher, 100 OPS plus or higher, but less than 50 home runs.
Okay.
And like, it doesn't exist anymore. Like Luis Arias is the like unicorn here. Stephen Kwan is on this list, but he's going to homer out of this list soon.
Yeah.
Like he's a year or two away from homering out of this list. But like, you got like guys that like are like end of career Wade Boggs and Tim Raines, right? And those are the like 95 and later in their career.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just incredible hitters. But that game is gone. That game doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. And I think the piece that like is coming to me more and more as we talk about these players, and especially players that are not power hitting at all. The more you watch the game, be it you could be an analytics guy, or you could be a non-analytics guy, you just want to do the eye test. It is harder and harder every year to make a living hitting the ball not out of the park. Getting hits is becoming more and more difficult between the pure athleticism of these players, the size of these players. Like there's infields where everybody is above 6 foot. That's not outrageous anymore, right? Like you can have a 6'5" shortstop nowadays. Like it exists. It's not like a crazy thing to think about. There's not a ton of them, but they exist, and it's going to be more and more. And you're going to get these bigger guys that are faster, just like the NBA. The NBA is like this too. And the more you get that, the more the positioning improves, the more pitchers understand how to pitch to a guy to make them hit it in a certain direction. All of these things are making it more and more impossible to become the guy that people talked about Nick Madrigal becoming. Right. So I hope he's not what people we're trying to say Nick Madrigal where it's going to be. And I hope that he's like a 15 home run a year guy. And that he has this kind of OBP, because that's a super valuable player. It's not some weird unicorn that never happens. It is a player that exists in this MLB and could be a very good contributor to the Sox. So that's what I don't want him to be what they thought Nick Madrigal was going to be, because that's bullshit. That's not going to happen. So yeah, that's where I land on that.
I love it. I like the comparison too, because MSS you brought up and Trees you brought up too is kind of like Madrigal had this pedigree, man. He was like a Juilliard musician, right? And Mydroth is more like some garage rocker. He's fucking Kurt Cobain coming out of Aberdeen, Washington, and fucking becoming a star and like actually doing the things you thought that the Juilliard musician was going to get done. He's like making this great music or whatever. And so the defensive base running been sneaky better than you thought. And like, yeah, I mean, remember oh boy, King Mac was calling him Laser Show. Madrigal, and they were calling Mr. 3000.
And you don't forget that people were like, "Oh, this guy should be playing shortstop." It's like, no, he should not. I remember before he played a game in the major leagues, there was people on Twitter going, "He plays Gold Glove defense and is a great base runner. And I'm like, you've never seen him run the bases. And how the fuck could you tell if a guy's a Gold Glover in the minor leagues?
I think you misheard that. I think he said he plays a really mean golden tee and he has a copy of Bases Loaded. I think that's what they said, Chorizy. I think you just misunderstood that in your old age.
It's possible. It's possible. My reading comprehension's bad, MSS.
When we say Juilliard for Mads, that's fine. But let's not put Chase up to the Nirvana level yet. Let's say,
you get my general idea.
Let's say Screaming Trees or Mudhoney. Okay, like
Mudhoney.
I
feel like
Mudhoney. I love Mudhoney.
No, I like them too.
You write songs about being sick,
but they're not. But they're not.
I'm just saying, the audience might not know who any of those people are.
But that's what we're. That's
But
what.
they know who Chase Weintraub is one of my points.
Well, but then you're setting a stage where like this guy's going to come out with the he's going to kill himself.
It's just an example in pedigrees.
No,
level of expectation. The one guy went to San Diego. I was reading the scouting report, which Eric Longenhagen and James Fegan claimed on the Sox Machine podcast that they basically had to rip up and rewrite because when he was in college, they weren't sure he's going to even be an infielder because he had erratic throws from second. Now he's handling shortstop. Okay, like I don't trust that he's going to be a long-term shortstop, but he seems fine there right now.
Yeah, no, Alex Reed might be correct. I do have a lot of love for his doppelganger, who is also his Eskimo brother, White Sox Dave. So, yep, too much.
All right, next up, and this guy has been playing so goddamn good. From this picture, you wouldn't be able to tell that, but Miguel Vargas is on a major goddamn heater. Since he changed his hand position April 21st, he's hitting a robust 302, 365, 542. For 155 WRC plus, only striking out 12% of the time over 102 plate appearances there with 6 dongers, really crushing the ball. Do we believe in the new player that Miguel Vargas has become? And is it cool to dunk on the previous non-believers of Miguel Vargas? Chorizy, you start.
See, I don't like the second part of this question. And MSS,
I knew he wouldn't.
MSS, here's what Beef is doing right now. Here's what Beef is doing. He's already picked out people that he wants to talk shit to.
Yes.
But what he's going to do, is
tag us.
When one of us says, no, don't do that. Well, kind of everybody didn't believe when one of us says that, he's going to then tweet at that person still and go like, oh, I was going to talk shit to so-and-so, but it gives either Chorizy or MSS the bubble guts. So I'm not going to do it, which is he's still going to do it, but he's just sideswiping us too. This is his goal.
He's like, let me talk shit at
so
three people.
I'm going to say, plan is to pop the man is what you're saying.
I'm going to say, Beef, dunk on whoever the fuck you want. I don't care. But let's talk about the player a little bit. I do believe here, and this is not me being overly optimistic. This is just that he had the hit tool all throughout the minors. Like he was totally capable. He came up, he had a lot of trouble. And you had to believe if you're trading for him that there's some thing there that you can unlock. And they had to feel like there was something mechanical that they could work with. You bring in Ryan Fuller, Marcus Timms has been working with him. And you got there, right? You got there. And so the thing I'm more nervous about is that while this goes good, now everybody's just going to be like, well, why can't Ryan Fuller fix this guy and this guy? And it's like, well, because that guy sucks. Like you can't just make everybody a great hitter. So, and like some of these guys are going to have like problems that you can't fix. Right. And things that just don't work and things that are mental. But it seems like this was likely a mechanical issue. This was like you see the difference. Like when he has his hands in a different position, he can get around on the ball. That's really important. That's the change. You could see that happened. A lot of these other guys, we don't know that that's going to be the case. And so like I do believe in this change. I do believe in this one. But I'm not. I think while I believe in Miguel Vargas, I am not a Ryan Fuller acolyte now. Like I'm not just like, oh, whatever he does, probably the right thing. He's gonna knock everything, like fix everybody. I'm not in that boat.
Yeah, but how about Chorizy if they look this sad? Can you help them then if they look this sad right here?
I mean, he might be able to help them in many ways, but in hitting the ball, I don't know. I think there's just a few guys that are going to be able to make that kind of turnaround.
MySoxSummer, how about you?
I don't think it's just his hand positioning that is letting him accomplish this thing. I think he's got a lot more confidence this season. And I mean, and honestly, he came into like easily the shittiest situation you could ever walk into as a team. You're leaving a team that's like poised with like great talent. It's going to go somewhere like World Series bound. And you're coming to a team that is going to be the total polar opposite and lose as many games as possible, or the most games ever in the history of baseball. And so that's depressing. But he came into the offseason. He put on the weight. They must have asked him to put on a little weight too. And they're like, listen, you could probably use a little more power. Right. And then he came in with, like, I'm assuming, a clear head and an acceptance to be able to take this direction of the hand change too. And just like, I'm going to try this and I'm going to see what happens. And it's working right now. And I heard that they asked him after the game on in Wrigley, they were like something, what about, you're doing great this year. What about last year? He's like, I don't remember last year. I don't even want to talk about last year. That last year never even happened. And like, I love that. I like that. And it was funny because he was laughing about it. But the guy is he's young and he's got good earring game. He looked like the bass player, a lead singer from Thin Lizzy when he first got here. And he's still, he looks like he's got his shit together. I like him. Am I a believer in him? And then now can we dunk on people? Absolutely. Feel free. Like, let's just start talking shit to people, because you know what? No one remembers after 30 days what you said anyway. So fucking dunk all you want. And then in 30, we'll switch it up in 30 days and say we didn't say that. We said, no, now we're not going to dunk on you. We're going to be giving you alley-oops. So yeah, no, feel free. Let's dunk. Let's start dunking. Me and you, Loaf, let's dunk them like donuts.
Well, that's what I'm scared of, man. And I am the proponent of, it doesn't matter about being right. We're just trying to understand, right? That's fine. It's okay. But I see a lot of people too many people were making fun of Latinos because he gained the 20 pounds on beans and rice. Fuck all those people, and we should be dunking on them, Chorizy. So quit being a pussy about this, all right? But I'm not saying you have to dunk, but you painted me in the corner there. Well, I have good reason to bring this out there. Forget all that, though.
I'm not being a pussy about it. I just know what you were doing. Good points brought up overall. Look at it. Here's the thing. If Vargas, forget Vargas' fucking hot streak where he's been pounding the hell out of the ball. Forget all that shit. What if he's just a little bit above league average hitter and a decent third baseman? That is a really good get for the goddamn Eric Fetty trade that everyone was fucking dunking on saying was terrible before, right? That's nice to turn Eric Fetty $7.5 million that you paid that guy from Korea because he had 12 good starts for the Sox, and you flipped it and turn it into him and Joel Perez, who's hitting the hell out of the ball too in the minors right now. That's good business. I like to see when the White Sox do something that looks like it turned out pretty fucking smart, and that's a good thing, and it's something to build on. Beef, one thing we didn't mention on Vargas that we should bring up, and because it's very different than what we've seen over the past few years, is Vargas like rolled over his ankle, got all fucked up, and then he went out there and kept playing in that game. I think they sat him for one game, and then he was back in. Like no problem. Like you were kind of like worried, like something wrong with Vargas. Nope, motherfucker kept playing.
Yeah, it was a nice thing, right, Chorizy? Because normally a White Sox player, that shit happens. You're like, fuck, this guy's down for a month. No,
they hold him out. They hold him out for 5 games, and then he goes on the IL, and you never see him again.
That's Corey Lee. Oh,
let's
what?
Well, no, Corey Lee is healthy. They just don't want him to play.
Well, AAA, they would like him to play.
I mean, yeah, that's where you go when you have a 55 OPS plus for your career. Let's get a couple of drinks here. Cockaroon says, when do we sign JD Martinez?
You got to clear the roster of Andrew Vaughn first before you mess with it.
Yeah, I think that's a cheers.
But good question.
It is surprising that JD is just sitting out there.
Yeah.
No. I think someone can.
All right. We got one from Peyton.
Peyton, appreciate it.
Peyton.
Thanks, Peyton.
We got another one from Peyton.
Let's do it.
Oh, God.
Dale says, cheers to Phil and that. Yeah, hell yeah.
Good
and
call,
Lizzie.
yeah.
wanna chicken dinner.
Ooh, that's a lot of tequila. I love it. One last point on Vargas.
Right,
I want to bring the street back for my guy Wendell, because Brad Hafner tweeted at me, Miguel Vargas is part of the core. This is back on May 1st. So it was like right when he got hot. And I put the eyeballs. And Wendell put, if so, we're closer than we all thought. And that's a thought I want to leave in people's heads. If they make these little moves that turn into these impact guys like a Miguel, and not even like a big guy, just like a regular ass decent player, Miguel Vargas, when you find Shane Smith on the Rule 5, little by little, you start cobbling together a team. And before you know it, you have something that's non-terrible. And that's really all we're shooting for right now. We may see that faster than we think, God willing.
Are you saying third base, Miguel Vargas, second base, Chase Mydroth, and when we bring up Colson Montgomery to fill in at shortstop?
Shakalaka!
God bless.
All right. I like where your head's at. I like where your head's at, my friend.
It's going to be hard.
Yeah. Let me get some more red Moscato for that one.
Twist that right off. It's going to be hard.
Says close. We have 7 catchers. We'll figure out a way to play all 7 of those catchers. Don't worry about it. You just don't worry about it. All right. We'll get there. It's fine.
There's nothing wrong with having 7.
We've had a lot of catchers before, and they all kind of suck.
Having 0 catchers is way worse.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, 2 out of 7 will be good, and then we're set.
Damn, we got a lot of good guys at one position. Fuck, that's the worst.
Right,
Remember, was concerned
question.
about all the talent that was like behind plate there. Like, oh, we got Yaz, we got Yerman Mercedes, we had some other guy. We're like, all these guys suck. They can't catch the ball.
We got to add Yerman Mercedes to the podcast soon.
Man, if he would come on, and I would love
his
that
next
shit.
spot in life.
His girlfriend could come on, or his wife.
All right, next up, let's talk about Davis Martin. Davis Martin's on a pitching heater lately, boys. He had a weak start to the season. But lately, last 6 starts, 2.62 ERA over 34 1/3 innings. He stopped walking people, as did Johnny Cannon. So there's been some mechanical changes there. Do we like Davis Martin for the long term, or will we be looking to trade him for some bats fairly soon? MySoxSummer.
So Davis Martin doesn't seem like, fucking Christ, my internet is sucking tonight. Davis Martin doesn't seem like he's going to become like this overwhelmingly expensive pitcher, right? So we can probably afford him down the road, because that would be normally what I would say. Well, we probably should trade him because we won't re-sign him because we won't have enough money. I'm pretty sure we're going to have enough money to sign Davis Martin. So, like, I'm okay with that.
Hang on, let me stop you there.
MySoxSummer.
I think here's what I think. Forget about re-signing these guys, because we got nothing but cheap bastards over here at Sox Park. And Getz realizes this. Finally, a GM realizes that the owners are not going to spend a lot of money.
Right.
If we get to the point where the guys are overwhelming and they're getting into the years where they're going to be paid a lot of money, they're going to trade them for goods for return. They're going to get prospects and stuff. So my thought was more, are we keeping him for a while, or are you going to flip him right now?
Flip him right now. I say we keep him, because we can't afford just to get rid of somebody that's doing something well. It's not like we have. Listen, we're 1 week removed of a Bryce Wilson, right? Or Bryce? Is it Bryce Wilson? Yeah,
Bryce
like,
Wilson.
We're 1 week removed of him just embarrassing the shit out of himself on the mound. Like, we don't have some guy that can just slide in. You know, it's not like catcher. Yes, we need to keep him for right now. We do not need to trade him for bats, in my opinion.
Chorizo.
I'm interested to see what this trade market develops like. I think there's teams that maybe I wasn't quite suspecting to be in the mix necessarily in this this season, and like there's got to be pitching needs. So if someone's getting overly desperate and you can get something nice for Davis Martin, you absolutely should, because there's nothing that tells me that he's going to continue to be healthy. There's the way he throws, what he relies on. That's not the way he throws. So like the curvature of his arm when he throws in, like, it feels like something that's really tough on the elbow. And then it kind of feels like that can get you some good spin, and that kick change is nice. But like, I worry about his health. I worry about the fact that he's, what is he, 27, 28?
28.
And he's really just getting started,
figuring it out.
right? And like these things are like there's kind of too many things that add up to me, like being like, I don't know exactly what this guy is, and like at best he's a 3 or a 4, like that's what it feels like. If someone's willing to pay a real hitter for that, I've got to listen. I've got to take a chance on that. Even though he's pre-arb for the next 2 years, he's got to be like, to MS's point, he's cheap.
He's cheap for a while.
And he does what you need him to do. You look at AAA, that pitching is just a big bag of farts. AA, both Taylor and Hagen Smith, they're like, well, we gotta
fix shit on you.
Exactly. But with Smith, it's like biomechanical break or something. I forgot what they called it. And that Taylor, they're putting him in the bullpen, which you can't tell if they're trying to rush him to the majors somehow, or if they're really just trying to limit his innings. Noah Schultz has been pretty pedestrian this year. Yeah. Like, there's not like a lot of like, man, get these guys out of the way for the next guys. So like, I get the idea of keeping him, but at the same time, like, how much is a number 3 pitcher worth to you for the next couple of shitty years that you're going to have, as opposed to some team gets desperate and they want to give you an actual prospect for this guy? And that's the thing. Like,
okay, so
I'm thinking like a 45
prospect.
Like, I'm thinking like a 45 plus kind of guy where it's like, this could be a regular on your baseball team, right? Like that kind of player comes through. You got to listen. You got to think about it, because you can't develop hitters. We've seen that. So you got to keep you got to keep it open. You got to keep it open to that kind of situation.
Yeah, great points all around. I'll bring up Sam Davis's comment. He says we call this the Dane Dunning conundrum. Yeah, there's a lot, and the reason why I brought up this question, and Davis Martin's been pitching a lot better lately, and Johnny Cannon's been pitching nice, and obviously Shane Smith, is you realize the White Sox, what it looks like right now is they can develop this guy right here, who is not a top prospect, who is just a guy drafted somewhere in the draft. I think Cannon was the 3rd round. I have no idea what round Davis Martin was, and they can get him to the majors. And they can get them to soft enough contact to look like they're going to be rotation mainstays, right? And this is valuable shit to be able to do, right? And to be able to replicate. And assuming that we believe that they can replicate this thing, at what point do they start saying, this is our commodity, and we're going to have to start pushing some of these widgets out the door for other things that we need? I'm not saying it's today. I don't think, and I don't even know if we get to this trade deadline and this actually happens. But I think the realities of what they are, and what the limits on what they could become, because until they get the Ishbia money, I don't see them as a team shopping at the top of the market.
Right, no.
And until something's proven more than Miguel Vargas, I agree with Chorizy on the Ryan Fuller thing. Let's see if Ryan Fuller can do any fucking thing. You got to start looking at these type, and I would look at Martin as opposed to Cannon. Cannon's younger. And Martin feels like the guy, if you were going to do it, you would do it here. And so it's just an interesting thought experiment. Great points by you guys.
It's going to depend on what teams are willing to give, because like there's been trade deadlines where you're like, holy shit, they gave up what for Aaron Savale, right? Like, yeah, it's like if that deal's out there, take it, right? But then there's other ones where it's like you're getting down to the deadline and there's like, no one really wants a number 3, because what they actually need is more number 1s to go against the Dodgers in the playoffs, right? Like, so, like it's going to depend on what teams need. Is it a team that needs to just have more pitchers so they could get to the playoffs, or is it a team that's locked into the playoffs and trying to compete? Because I think if you're locked into the playoffs, trying to compete in the playoffs, Davis Martin's not your guy. You're not going to give up shit for Davis Martin.
Right. That's right. Yep. That's correct. Yep. Totally agree. The comments are wild right now. Whose foot is that? That foot is my daughter's foot on the back wall. It's the only non-weird picture on the back wall. But enjoy the rest of my back wall. It's developing
Christy
right now.
Canyon's foot, actually. And it's Christy Canyon's foot.
How dare you?
He's a foot guy.
One last question. And RIP in peace to George Wendt.
Oh, yeah.
The actor that played Norman Peterson passed away on Tuesday, 76 years old. Southside guy. Sox fan, Bears, etc. Question for you guys is, who do you think would be his favorite player on the 2025 White Sox. I'll start with Chorizy-E.
Yeah, so I mean, he's one of the super fans.
He's one of the super fans. Yes.
So you got to go Meatball.
Bob Swirsky.
You got to go Meatball here, and like, there needs to be like an over the topness to this idea, right? Like, so I'm gonna go Tim Elko.
Wow,
I'm gonna go Tim Elko, and the reason I'm gonna go Tim Elko is because the super fans are football fans too. Tim Elko has the sexiness of a backup quarterback, right? Because you want Vaughn out of there. This is the guy sitting on the bench behind Vaughn, right? Like, this is the guy that's going to push him out of there. This is, that's the Meatball fans' favorite thing. And then you've got like kind of the other pieces to Tim Elko, where it's like he played with his like leg fell off, right? He's like had a torn ACL.
And he played through it. Yeah.
Played through it in the College World Series, like that kind of thing. And then the fact that like he's the one guy on this team right now that when he makes contact, it could just go an absolute mile, right? Yeah. There's a little bit of that in Lenine Sosa every once in a while. Luis Robert, I would love to see that back for him, but Tim Elko is the guy right now that when he gets up to bat, you kind of have like this could go out. This might be a strikeout. He might just ground the ball right back to the pitcher, or this is going to be a tremendous home run. And that's a super fan kind of guy, right? Like it's super fans meets Bill Brasky kind of like Tim Elko. I once saw him on one leg take a tree trunk out of the ground and hit a ball 7,000 feet or something. It went onto the Dan Ryan. Like that's the kind of bullshit story we'll be telling about Tim Elko someday. So I think Elko is the perfect George Wentz super fan
100%
guy.
Yeah, that was the.
We get to this one comment first. Jackie Treeran says, "Was Norm Beef's inspiration to go into accounting?" No, but accountants, resemble Norm. Like I like seeing Norm and Cheers as an accountant, and then living that life and going through that world. Not a shock one bit. Accountants absolutely love the drink. Sorry, MSS for cutting you off. Go ahead.
That's all right. I know how much you like to talk about yourself, so it's okay. We got it. Tim Elko is definitely the easy pick. Like that's the guy that you would definitely be, and you can see his super fans like being built around it too. Like Chorizy was saying, but I want to go one step further. The man already has his own statue. He's like, we're going to have to get that statue and put it in the outfield when Tim Elko hits his 45th home run this season. Like you can just see it. So I'm still thinking like who would be the second player? And it's like, I know for goddamn sure it's not Andrew Vaughn. Like you would be so frustrated in this.
We're alcoholics together on this, man. Did you? If you guys both liked Elko, did you factor in George Wentz softball play in the movie Gung Ho as part of your thinking on Elko? Is that Chorizy? How much did you use of his softball play in Gung Ho?
Yeah, I was more thinking about his hit prowess in Gung Ho. He had a good hit tool, just like Elko. But yeah,
base running.
I think if he's going to take someone out at the plate, though, I feel like Elko would be a guy who would take someone out at the plate.
Here's the guy that I think he would also like, though. He would probably like Shane Smith, because Shane Smith, in yet another good feel-good story, he came out of like kind of nowhere. They saw something in him, and he's come up. He's got his chance, and he's making the most out of it. Pitcher, not as sexy as smashing the long ball, but I think that it would be another player that he would be like, yes, I'm a big Shane Smith guy, and having two hot twin sisters probably doesn't hurt either. So like definitely super fans would be into that.
I feel like you guys went for a little too much pizzazz around these guys. All right.
Okay.
Like the Shane Smith has too much of the feel-good story. Elko obviously was already a legend before he got here. He fucking Mincy comes out to the game. He's like, he's Tim Elko's best fucking friend, and like everyone in Ole Miss loves him and all this stuff. For me, I was looking at this in a way I was like, who is a total underdog guy on this roster? Who's an underdog fucking goofball? A guy that there's no way this motherfucker would turn away a free beer. Like if you offered him a free fucking beer, he'd be in on this shit. He'd be totally in. And like, it almost feels like he doesn't belong here. He got here in a strange circumstance. Mm-hmm. And like, he's going pretty good right now. And you're like, this is not going to last. This guy's not going to keep playing as well as he's playing. And he's a big fucking maniac goof. And that's Mike Vasil. When I was watching Mike Vasil, it's like they just took a 16-inch softball player and threw him out there and said, fucking pitch, good luck, and he's fucking somehow getting outs. And then they call him in Cincinnati. They're like, oh, you're going to get the fucking save. And he's looking around. He's like, what, me? I got to go in there for the save? Like, that's the kind of guy I envision, like, rallying around. Like, the super fan would rally around that guy. I originally thought about Brooks Baldwin as being like, but Vasil has the size.
He plays everywhere.
Guy, you need a big guy to do it. So that's where I agree with your choices. Like Smith and Elko both have the size. I just think there's a little too much cachet around them. Whereas Mike Vasil's just a fucking goof,
Hey, Jackie, who the fuck is Tim Elmo? You dumb fuck. Come on, use your keyboard.
Beef,
you drinking the Boone's Farm too, buddy? Come on.
There was no cachet around Mike Ditka for sure. So that was all from them. That was all from them.
Exactly. No one ever heard of him.
It's not like Mike Ditka ever broke a toilet in a cigar shop, and there'd be stories about him.
He never reeked of beef jerky and asked the waitress if he could lick her pussy. Nope, that never happened.
We shouldn't talk ill of Clutch. Clutch is up there. Clutch, he's in bad health too. We don't want to jinx him.
He's having trouble.
That's true.
He's struggling a little bit.
You haven't heard from him.
Well, that was our White Sox talk. Love it. Great job, boys. I love that.
All right.
I'm sorry, Jackie. I take that back.
You know what time it is done, guys. It's time for thank yous and GFYs. Beef, who are you thinking of GFY?
I want to thank all the beautiful motherfuckers that came out to Cork at the Park on Sunday for our watch party. It wasn't the largest #108 watch party we've ever had, but it was a very well-served one and a great time had by everyone who was there. We gave away a ton of stuff. The White Sox didn't manage to win, but we had an awesome time with the group that was there. We're looking forward to ones that are coming up. We're going to have a few more of those. So thanks for those who came out, and those who didn't, come out to the next one.
Yeah, I think next one is June 17th, right?
It's a BeefLoaf birthday celebration. It's a Tuesday night.
Let's Tuesday night.
Tuesday night.
I'll be there. Pre-game for the $5 Tuesday. Oh man, we are gonna
Let's go.
Take Wednesday off, kids. Take Wednesday off. MySoxSummer. Who are you thinking?
I'm gonna stick with what I've done last week. I preemptively thanked everybody that came out to Cork and Kerry. I'm gonna preemptively thank the Chicago Sports Bums for how drunk I'm gonna get at their tailgate on Saturday. I know I will be drinking all their good whiskey, and I might donate some money. We'll see. But I'm looking forward to the food and the free whiskey on Saturday this week coming up. It's gonna be a good time. Chorizo, who are you thinking of GFYing?
Same as Beef. All you motherfuckers that came out to Cork on Sunday. That was awesome. I needed absolutely every one of those fireball shots. That you
my God.
And we're going to see you there. See you at Cork's again tomorrow night after the game. So we'll see you.
Thanks for spending your little Friday with us. Hope you enjoyed yourself. We gave you your fill of baseball, beer, and bullshit. Now it's time for you to go do horny stuff. We'll see you next week. Espanol. That's adios, motherfucker.